Today is June 24th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are going to finish Chapter 10, To Employers, by reading pages 148 through 150. And out of the personal stories, we're going to begin a new one called Twice Gifted by reading page 470. We won't be reading out of the 12 and 12 today. Once again, got a little overzealous, so we're going to go ahead and get back to that tomorrow. So with all that, my friends, hope you're doing well this morning. We've been given a brand new set of 24 hours, and it is such a blessing just to be alive today. And at the very least, if we are sober today, that is a major, major victory and a reason to be, so thankful. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. Alright, my friends, so if you recall from yesterday, we have been hearing some really good practical advice from employers to employers and how they should deal with one of their alcoholic employees. And we've been given a lot of great practical tips, and we're going to finish off these ideas beginning on page 148. Your junior executive may not agree with the contents of our book. He need not, and often should not show it to his alcoholic prospect. But at least he will understand the problem and will no longer be misled by ordinary promises. He will be able to take a position with such a man which is eminently fair and square. He will have no further reason for covering up an alcoholic employee. It boils right down to this. No man should be fired just because he is alcoholic. If he wants to stop, he should be afforded a real chance. If he cannot or does not want to stop, he should be discharged. The exceptions are few. We think this method of approach will accomplish several things. It will permit the rehabilitation of good men. At the same time, you will feel no reluctance to rid yourself of those who cannot or will not stop. Alcoholism may be causing your organization considerable damage in its waste of time, men, and reputation. We hope our suggestions will help you plug up this sometimes serious leak. We think we are sensible when we urge that you stop this waste and give your worthwhile man a chance. The other day, an approach was made to the vice president of a large industrial concern. He remarked, "I'm mighty glad you fellows got over your drinking, but the policy of this company is not to interfere with the habits of our employees. If a man drinks so much that his job suffers, we fire him. I don't see how you can be of any help to us. As you see, we don't have any alcoholic problem." This same company spends millions for research every year. Their cost of production is figured into a fine decimal point. They have recreational facilities. There is a company insurance. There is a real interest, both humanitarian and business, in the well-being of employees. But alcoholism, well, they just don't believe they have it. Perhaps this is the typical attitude. We, who have collectively seen a great deal of business life, at least from the alcoholic angle, had to smile at this gentleman's sincere opinion. He might be shocked if he knew how much alcoholism is costing his organization a year. That company may harbor many actual or potential alcoholics. We believe that matters of large enterprises often have little idea how prevalent the problem is. Even if you feel your organization has no alcoholic problem, it might pay to take another look down the line. You may make some interesting discoveries. Of course, this chapter refers to alcoholics, sick people, deranged men. What our friend, the vice president, had in mind was the habitual or whoopee drinker. As to them, his policy is undoubtedly sound, but he did not distinguish between such people and the alcoholic. It is not to be expected that an alcoholic employee will receive a disproportionate amount of time and attention. He should not be made a favorite. The right kind of man, the kind who recovers, will not want that sort of thing. He will not impose. Far from it. He will work like the devil and thank you to his dying day. Today I own a little company. There are 2 alcoholic employees who produce as much as 5 normal salesmen. But why not? They have a new attitude, and they seem to have been saved from a living death. I have enjoyed every moment spent in getting them straightened out. All right, and that concludes today's chapter. Great stuff here, and we'll move on to the personal story now. Okay, so we are on story number 5 of They Lost Nearly All, and this story is called Twice Gifted. This is on page 470. Diagnosed with cirrhosis, this sick alcoholic got sobriety, plus a life-saving liver transplant. Today is Sunday, my favorite day of the week. Things are usually peaceful, and I always get that wonderfully humbling, it's amazing to be alive feeling. I'm happy to say that very few days go by without that feeling. Sunday used to be pretty wild in the old days. That is what I call my drinking days, the old days. So last day of the weekend, finishing up a few days of partying with my friends. I never went anywhere that was not a party. And if in doubt about the occasion, I think of a good one and bring the party with me. I cannot remember a time without booze in my life. Even when I was young and didn't drink myself, liquor was always around. I do remember a time at the beginning of my drinking thinking to myself that I was not and would never become an alcoholic, knowing in a very personal way exactly how an alcoholic lived. I was a teenager then, and I figured I was just having fun and could control everything about my drinking. By the time I actually reached legal drinking age, I had definitely gone beyond weekend party drinking, and Sunday once again became the first day of the week, soon to become a week of daily drinking. During my young adulthood, drinking was the way that I related to others. I didn't know anyone who did not drink, and all of my interests, friendships, and more intimate relationships revolved completely around drinking. Over the years, by all appearances, I grew up and got a life, but it was only a facade. I never did mature other than in the physical way. I appeared more normal on the outside, but I knew I drank, and so did everyone else. But I behaved pretty well and, only by chance, managed to stay out of harm's way, except for a few occasions. Looking back now, the picture of my life before I got sober looks like a long series of unfinished matters. Through the years, I had quit on everything that ever mattered. College, going for promotions, relationships, at least the relationships that demanded any work. All right, so we'll stop there today at the bottom of page 471, halfway down page 471. And I can relate to this person for sure when he says, at the very beginning, today is Sunday, my favorite day of the week. Things are usually peaceful, and I always get that wonderfully humbling, it's amazing to be alive feeling. I'm happy to say that very few days go by without that feeling. That is a beautiful representation of sobriety right there. As I've said, countless times on this podcast, sobriety is so much more than not drinking. But it takes a little bit of work, and we see that this person, obviously, he's starting from the beginning here with a flashback of his life with drinking and how it very, very quickly turned into a daily, unmanageable drinking. So he starts off with the problem first, but obviously, we already know that he has a good sobriety because of this opening paragraph. And this is truly what it really is like. Now, is it always rainbows and sunshine? No. But from my experience in sobriety, I have very practical steps that I can take throughout the day when I'm on a hard day to still live a honest life of integrity. And also, thanks to sobriety, I have a fellowship, actually a couple of fellowships that I can go to at any time, and I don't have to face these problems alone. Of course, I've got my higher power, but I've also got people around me that have my back. And that is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I'm a very rich man. Sobriety is a wonderful thing. And if you are sober, my friend, today you are a miracle. And I'm sure that those who love you are very proud of you. As always, I don't speak on behalf of AA or NA or Al-Anon or any other sect or domination, religion or organization. I'm just a guy, just a friend here in this lifeboat of recovery. And I'm glad that you're here with me. If we're given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.